Okay, so welcome back to part 2 of the video. And we're just going to continue practicing on multiplying polynomials. Just like we were doing in part 1, you can either use the area models or you can use the split distribution that I showed you in the first part. So I'm going to have you do number 6, 7, and 8 on your own. But before you pause your video, I want to discuss number 8 with you. Because number 8 is a binomial being raised to the power of 2. So our whole x plus 5 is our base. So before you do anything on this one, go ahead and write it as the base times the base. If you don't take the extra few seconds to do this step, a lot of times people do crazy things with the exponent that they're not supposed to do and get it wrong. Okay, so go ahead and pause your video now and do 6, 7, and 8. And then check back for the answers. So whether you did them with the area model or if you did them with a split distribution, you should have come out with the same answer both times. Go ahead and write up here at the top next to Algebra 1, write cloudy sky. Now we're going to do number 9 and number 10. Number 9 and number 10, same process, even though now it's a binomial times a trinomial. You can split the binomial and multiply each one times the trinomial. In this one, you could split the trinomial, so you would have 3 distributions, or you can decide to split the binomial and do 2 distributions, or you can use your area model. So go ahead and do number 9 and number 10 on your own, pause the video, and then check back to make sure that you got the correct answers. Okay, so just check and make sure that you got the same answers on both number 9 and number 10, regardless of the method that you went about to solve it. On number 11, we have an application problem, so we're looking at the area of a rectangle, which is our length times our width. So they've given us our length. Our length is 2x minus 9. They've given us our width, x plus 5. And they want us to find the area. So we know we need to multiply them. So go ahead and do them using whatever method you choose and get the answer of the area for this rectangle. Pause your video while you're working and then check back for the explanation. Okay, that was a very straightforward multiplication, so you should have had no problem getting the correct answer. Our last one is just asking you to kind of think of how could we check our answer using the calculator, because when you're multiplying binomials, you're getting equivalent expressions. So what I want you to do is to pause your video, get out your calculator, and see if you can figure out a way to prove or check your answers, starting with the question and looking at your answer, and see if you can figure out a way to use the calculator to verify that you're correct. As a hint, I'm going to give you a hint, you're going to need to use your y equals key, and you're also going to need to use the table, second table. So pause your video, see what you can do. Experiment around on the calculator. You're not going to break anything. See if you can figure out how to test that your expressions are equivalent. And then once you come up with an idea, write it down and then check back for the last explanation. So hopefully you were able to maybe find this out or figure it out with the equivalent expressions. But if you put the answer that you came up with in y1 and the problem in y2, and you go look at your table, your y values should be exactly the same. The only caveat I can give you on this is whenever you're dealing in the y equals key, you're going to have to use x's. So if your problem happens to deal with b's or w's, you'll have to change them to x's in order to use the calculator to check.